Purchase the whole ball of wax now through the end of August and receive one free LAL 2022 admission, a $197 value. When you buy the whole ball of wax, you will automatically be registered for the event. No additional steps required. Law Entrepreneur Academy Live is the event to take your company to new heights as you learn from industry leaders at this amazing one-day event. Act now. This free ticket offer to LAL 2022 and purchasing the whole ball of wax won't last forever. Go all in today and secure your seat for the industry's best in-person training conference in Novi, Michigan, Saturday, November 12th. The whole ball of wax includes all the training programs, documents, resources, and postcard designs at thelaunchpreneuracademy.com and a ticket to LAL 2022. This deal ends August 31st, so don't delay. Tickets to the event can be purchased separately from the whole ball of wax promotion.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging with you guys. And today, we've got another great guest lined up for you guys. We're really excited about getting so many of you guys on the show from all across the country. So many of you guys have been writing in, emailing in, Instagram DMs, and it's just been awesome. We have such a great community of people along the fruited plain that have been listening to the show. This time today, we're going to be heading over to the Midwest and even a little bit more east. We're going all the way over to Carlisle, Pennsylvania. We've got none other than Erik Coyle on the line with us. Erik, how are you doing this afternoon?
Good. How's it going? Glad to be a part of the Brian Unfiltered. Always listen to you when we're on the mowers and out doing landscaping.
That's right. That's awesome, brother. Awesome, man. How's things been over there in Pennsylvania? You guys getting heat? You guys been getting rain? What's the weather been looking like for you guys over that way?
Oh, it's been a scorcher for sure. Not much rain. This past week it's been mid 90s. Today it's supposed to be 100 degrees. Thankfully it's Sunday and it's not really doing too much. Just getting ready for next week, and next week's looking like finally some more rain so we can get the grass growing again, and it's going to be a little cooler. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that.
Amen. Yeah, I was just saying the same thing before we hit record. I'm doing this episode, then I'm going to kind of clean up a little bit and head to a friend's house. We're going to go enjoy their pool. We've got some ribs on the smoker that have been on there since 6:30 in the morning. Actually got up early and prepped the ribs and hashtag grill gang if you guys are on Instagram. But so that's the later half of my afternoon and day, and same thing, enjoying the Sunday afternoon, my friend. Well, really quick, man. If you listen to the show, and if you guys have listened to the show before, I love doing guest interviews and getting different perspectives on, and just hearing what you guys are excited about. So many of you guys are growing successful companies, making moves, and I just love highlighting that success. So, Erik, why don't you give these guys maybe the 2-minute kind of a synopsis about who you are. You already covered kind of where you're from, but what does your business look like right now, and we'll kind of get into it.
Yeah, so obviously I'm located in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, Central PA. A lot of things around Central PA, and I mean we got a lot of businesses. You got a lot of rural area. You got a lot of residential area, and there's a lot of new subdevelopments being built. So my area is looking really good right now for, the lawn maintenance business. There's a lot of guys, but there's a lot of potential.
Okay.
I started when I was 16 last year, or right when I was turning 17, I guess. And I worked in the food service business, and I was like, I'm tired of this. And I just wanted to, I've always wanted to in my own business, and it's just been something that I've been interested in. I've always liked being outdoors, and I've been on a zero turn since, I was like 10 years old. So it was nothing new to me, but I just decided to go for it. I had a truck, and then the beginning of last year in April, I went out and bought a trailer, got, I had my own backpack blower, steel backpack blower, weed whacker, all of it. So I just went out and I started advertising, and it just took off from there.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Now this year I graduated from high school. So now I'm going full out with the business and just trying to keep growing.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Where, if you don't mind me asking, was it like a mom and pop shop that you were working at for the restaurant, or like a bigger chain or franchise or something?
No, so actually, we have this little ice cream and burger shop here. It's actually over in Gardner's, Pennsylvania, called Twirly Top. I worked for them since I was 14, and the owners, they were really good to me. They're great people. They actually have a farm that they also run too, and they taught me all the stuff about business, and really was supportive about me going on with this adventure. And that's kind of what really got me motivated to start my own business. And like I said, they were super supportive and taught me a lot of stuff.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you were slinging ice cream and burgers, man, and then you're like, "Hey, I want to do my own thing." So that's awesome. It's we have a place right down the road. It's called Dairy Twist, and they have a little person in the ice cream cone with a little shaker sign, and it's like ice cream cone $2.99 or whatever it says. And was ever that you on the street corner with the little shaker sign and the costume when it's like 100 degrees out, or no?
No, just flipping burgers and twisting some cones. And
there you go, man. There you go. Yeah, it's always funny. You could just tell the kids that like love that job. By the way, the little shaker sign kids. Because man, like you get the one kid that's energetic and he's out there on that corner. And man, I'll tell you what, like those shaker people, like they will bring in 10 extra cars every like 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like the drive through the parking lots, they're nuts, and that's a huge location over there. They're extremely busy. But anyway, well, here, dude, we're gonna do this really quick. We're gonna hear from today's show sponsors announcements. I love making sure that we get to hear from the sponsors, the ads. They are, we quote unquote call it a necessary evil, but I don't think they're a necessary evil. I think they're all for good. I love hearing the different companies that get to sponsor and show and share what we're doing and support it, if you will, because without them, nothing like this would come out on any semi-regular basis without taking care of the production costs and just paying for the hobby, if you will. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we come on back. I want to hear a little bit more from Erik, because I asked him before we hit the start of the show. I said, hey, you're 18, business is booming. I want to get the stats, the deets, the numbers. But then number 2, I said, are you going to college, or what's your prospects there? And you said, nope, I'm hitting this thing with everything I got to make sure it takes care of me and build something of my own. So we're going to hear a little bit more from Erik in just a quick second about how he's putting things together at such a young age, 18 years old, and hear a little bit more from his startup story. So guys, hang tight. We're going to come right on back.
Did you hear the news? The IRS is gearing up. They are adding 87,000 new IRS agents. Now is the time to make sure your financials are audit ready. Arm yourself with an accounting team that can proactively prepare you for this, starting with a solid bookkeeping foundation. Your time is best spent getting new clients or coordinating the work in the field, not scrambling for paperwork when the IRS comes knocking on your door. Get peace of mind. Work with Cycle CPA, a green industry accounting firm that will not only make sure you are audit ready, but will also highlight opportunities within your business to increase profits and cash flow. Visit their website, cyclecpa.com, and mention Brian's podcast to receive $200 off on bookkeeping and CFO services.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to jump right back into it. Hey, really quick, if you guys haven't got your ticket yet for LaunchpreneurAcademy.com, just wanted to make sure we plug that here for just a quick second. You guys can get those at LaunchpreneurAcademy.com/store. That's our live event that's going on November 12th, Saturday, over here in Novi, Michigan. Pre-sales are going really, really well. So thank you guys so much for getting your ticket. And then also just a quick, friendly, timely reminder, don't forget to get your guys' Equip ticket. We can still save you 50% with promo code Brian when you guys register online. We'll have links in the description for both of those. All right, guys. Well, let's go back to our buddy Erik. So Erik, you are over there in Pennsylvania, which, by the way, one of the most beautiful states in the union, no doubt about it. My wife and I, we have some friends in Rhode Island, Michigan, and once or twice we had decided to drive and make the trek, and so we took Pennsylvania like lengthwise, and it was like 8 or so hours or something like that in the car, and it was in the fall. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was October, November, something like that, but it was the fall colors. And I know Pennsylvania is very rural, but there's also a lot of mountain ranges and hills and valleys and all this mess. And I swear to God, for 8 hours, all I heard from Liz was, look at the trees, look at the trees. Oh my God, the trees. Because every highway and byway and overpass and bridge and peak and valley, you'd see like another ridge of trees. And it was literally the most gorgeous I don't even know, a car ride, if you will, that we've probably been on it for our lives. And it was just absolutely beautiful. So Pennsylvania is a beautiful state, man. And kudos to you guys with trying to preserve all of that, if you will. So
it sounds like you want to move here.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that because maybe, I don't know. We can get a condo over there in Pittsburgh or something like that, right? And I'll go visit Steel Cuts and Max Landscaping with Cornell and Cedric, but just having fun. But unless they got an Airbnb or a Vrbo, then I'll crash on a couch. But I digress. So now where you're living, is it more urban, more rural, more country? Are you guys in the sticks? You guys got subdivisions? What does it look like over there by you?
We have it's a mixture of everything. I mean, if you go, if you come over to Mount Holly, you have the little town of Mount Holly, and then you got, the big town of Carlisle, where in Carlisle, you got a lot of your, it's kind of like a little city.
Okay.
And you have a lot of businesses, a lot of factories, in Carlisle. And then you come out to Holly, you got, just a little dinky town you drive through. And then it's all pretty much rural area. And, you have some subdivisions, but they're continuing to actually build a lot of subdivisions, 10 minutes from Carlisle, in Bowling Springs. They're putting in hundreds of houses. Next year they're going to have a lot more houses. And I mean, there's a lot of opportunities that, it's definitely something that I want to hit on. Because there's a lot of opportunities for, these new subdivisions going in. There's going to be a lot of work, that people are looking to have done in those new subdivisions. So, I mean, it's definitely a growing area. But we have, like I said, a little bit of everything. We got HOAs, we got, factories, we got, anything you could think of. We got a little bit of everything.
Dude, that's awesome. Are you trying to capitalize on the subdivisions? Are you getting more rural properties? Like what's your business clientele kind of make up as we speak?
Right now I'm a little spread out. I mean, I'm in the Carlisle, I'm in with a, 20-minute area of every, like I don't have to travel any more than 20 minutes. So
that's good. That's
I'm trying to get more density. I want to hit on these subdivisions big, especially going into next year. I want to try to get a lot more residential, all in the subdivisions. And then this year I actually got my first HOA
cool.
in Carlisle. So that was actually a big step in the business. That really helped the business, and that's always a good thing to get. And so I got the first HOA, and I have 2 commercial properties. I have this big farm property that's about 10 acres of mowing each week. So that's a good half day of work, and it's good income for sure. So, but yeah, next year definitely I want to hit it hard with getting some more residentials and trying to get some, a handful of commercials. So hopefully we can do that and continue to grow.
Now, how many lawns are you servicing right now weekly? Because you said that you just got out of school a couple months ago, obviously graduating high school, which is awesome. Awesome chapter to, close and finish up, and exciting times for sure. Nervous and anxious times. I remember I was 18. I was walking off and I'm like, yes, I'm so glad to be out of here. And then at the same point, I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? So
yeah, absolutely. I had pretty much that same feeling.
Yeah. It's like the first time in your life where, for I don't know, 10, 12, 15 years, whatever, everybody's telling you what to do, where to go, what to think, where to be, like to just the nth degree. And then arguably, besides parent life and living at home, it's like, hey, June, you graduated June 10th, June 11th. I don't have to really be anywhere or do anything or.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So like, what were you thinking then when you were graduating from high school? Because you had the business, things were starting to grow. And then what were you thinking back then? Were you scared, nervous, excited, a little bit of everything?
I was actually really excited to get out of high school. I mean, honestly, I feel like being in high school, trying to run the business, and like I said, working at Trolley Top, they wouldn't let me go this year. I guess I was such a good worker, they didn't want to leave me go. They kept trying to get me to work more and more. And I'm like, I'm trying to, do full time with the business. And
right.
So I gave them, a few days to the end of the year, and, maybe a Saturday here and there. But no, I tried to, get out of there. They're great people, like I said, but like I said, I wanted to really kick off with the business, and it was just, I think it was more stress, while I was in school, trying to make sure I got all my yards mowed every week, and then trying to, just get everything done in a timely manner. And with all the landscaping, that's the biggest thing with my landscaping. I feel like I wasn't up to par with a quick time frame like I'd like to be.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm out of school, I feel like I can, now I got 7 days a week, I don't have anything else committed, don't have to go to school, nothing, so I can bang out the landscaping jobs pretty quick and, get the, the wait times down and, not have to stress about getting mowing done, having to, customers waiting and everything. So, but no, I didn't want to get too many yards whenever I was in school still, because I wanted to make sure I could still handle it all and not have any upset customers, if I missed them because of rain or something like that. So, we're sitting between 15 to 20 mowing, residential mowings a week. And then we got one business, one farm, and an HOA. So it's, it's pretty good. And we got a lot of landscaping that we've been doing. Landscaping's starting to slow down, but we're still doing, shrub trimmings. Still got some mulching doing some stone, all that stuff. But we don't like to get into much of the hardscaping stuff. Try to stay into just pretty much like what you do, Brian, is throw mulch down and, edge and cut shrubs. I don't think you cut shrubs too much, but
yeah, I actually got out of doing shrub trimming work. I just you can only do so much, right? And
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, 8 or 10 commercials and HOAs that we do, or a dozen or so. I don't even know. I don't really keep track, but at the same point, I sub it all out now. I have a really good buddy of mine, Chaz. He does immaculate shrub. He loves shrub trimming and shrub pruning. So whatever he does, I ask him for a quote. I usually throw on 10%, call it a day. He bills me, I bill the customer. And we're off to the races. And most of that's for like commercial, because I don't really do any residential residential work. But if we did, I would just give them Chaz's number, and that's a side deal, and they can hustle all that together. But I love shrub pruning. Don't get me wrong. It's just we're out of time. We're focused on maintenance, But shrub pruning, man, you can make some great money. Are you doing a lot of shrub pruning with your residentials or commercials too, or what? Tell me about that.
I mean, we're doing a good bit of shrub trimming. It's when you get in your residentials, they're like, they call you for mowing, and then they're like, oh wait, you do shrub trimming? Hey, my shrubs are overgrown, and all that. You end up getting that customer for it's like you said, an upsell. You always talk about upsells, mm-hmm. and that's that's a great way, especially whenever you're meeting with one of your clients. They call you because they want their yard mowed. Make sure you let them know that you also give them a business card that has all your services on, and make sure you let them know, hey, I see your shrubs are starting to grow up some. Would you like us to add you to our schedule for shrub trimming? Or hey, what do you think about doing some new stuff with your flower beds? You want a fresh coat of mulch, new flowers, whatever. And another thing that I've been trying to get into a little bit in the residential area is some fertilization.
Oh, okay.
Nothing crazy, just, another upsell, some more revenue and everything. So just, trying to feel out the business and see what customers in this area want. And, there's a lot of companies in this area. You got your Saturday heroes, and then you got your people who are actually, insured and everything. And sometimes, it sucks because you got that competition. Somebody's going to come in and undercut you
mm-hmm.
for a $50 lawn. They're going to cut it for $25. And, that's what I like to call your Saturday weekend warriors,
mm-hmm.
pretty much. But, and then, unfortunately, those customers, they don't realize that, if something happens, that guy's not insured, or anything like that. But that's a whole different story. So
yeah, well, I was going to say, you got the same lowball guy in my town and your town. Well, that's interesting, but we always joke on the show and whatnot that, look, everybody's got the $20 guy still in town.
Absolutely.
So it's like, don't try not to compete with that guy. Keep your price where your price is. Those people, they all come and go. That's fine. And maybe they'll learn some lessons too, and they'll realize, oh shoot, I'm giving away the farm. Mowing somebody's lawn for $25 and they put $12 of gas, in their mower just to mow that $25 lawn. Cause it's
right, exactly. And especially with how fuel prices are today. I mean, heck, it was almost $5 like 2 weeks ago here in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And that really put a burden on us this year. I mean, yeah, we upped our prices and everything, but I mean, it still hurts to look at your monthly gas prices going from, maybe under $1,000 a month to over $1,000 a month, for your truck fuel and your mower fuel. I mean, it's if you're over, $1,000 for a small business is a lot for fuel a month. And
yeah.
I mean, even though you raise your prices, you can't control if gas keeps going above $5, but luckily, it's dropped about 50 cents. So, hopefully the Biden inflation is slowing down some.
yeah. We'll see. I think we'll see what happens in October when they're done releasing 1 million barrels a day from the strategic oil reserves for exactly 6 months, which is exactly at midterms. And so, anything to release 1 million barrels a day from the military strategic oil reserves, because that's not a threat to national security, and also a little bit of a political manipulation at the same point, but I digress. Again, what do I know? I'm a simpleton. I'm just a kid that grew up in a double wide trailer, and I got a little podcast and a little YouTube channel, right? But anyway, I say that tongue in cheek because you guys all get it too, which is wild. But anyway, so let me ask you this: with graduating, you said like more time, you're able to focus on the business, I think is the big takeaway. And man, I can totally understand that. I can totally imagine, like you said, you get 20, 30, 40 hours a week back, 50 hours a week back into your life. And now you're able to focus on things that you're excited about, if you will.
Absolutely.
Where do you plan to take the business, over the next 12, 18 months? Because if you're not going to college, which is a smart move in my opinion, and in many ways for many people. Yeah, where do you plan to take things over the next year or so?
Well, I definitely, my goal is to keep growing at a fast pace, and just try to keep, at the end of the year, look at what my numbers were, and set a goal for next year. Like when we were emailing, I told you, I set my goal to hit over $40,000 this year just with the business, and I think we're going to be on track. I think we'll be pretty close to hitting that. So hopefully we keep growing, and next year I'd like to, add another $20,000 or so.
Absolutely.
My biggest thing next year is I want to get more residential mowing, and I want to get a few more commercial. I don't know. I mean, commercials, I've learned my lessons in commercial this year with the first HOA and stuff, but I don't know that it's all the greatness that everybody always talks about. But I mean, I think it's definitely something you want to be in. But then again, also residential is really good. So we'll see. Last year, my first year in business, at the beginning or mid-August, I bought my first commercial zero turn. I got a Hustler Raptor.
Oh, cool.
Hustler Fast Track.
Fast Track, yeah. I figured a Fast Track. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, luckily I bought it when I did because, I'm sure from buying probably a new mower this year, everything's went up like crazy on the zero turn mower side. So, yeah, definitely got it at a good time. I'd like to get another zero turn, or I was looking at stand-ons, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if I want to stand on yet or not. People keep talking me out of it, and then there's people that are like, "Oh, they're great," and everything. So I hate to spend that $10,000 or whatever one of them will cost. And I'm also trying to figure out if I want to stick with Hustler, go to Exmark, this and that. So there's all kinds of different variables, but yeah, definitely want to keep growing and, growing at a fast pace and try to, be where you're at today, Brian, having a crew run your mowing business or your mowing side of stuff, and you're out doing some mulching or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, the sky's the limit, man. I always tell people I'm a small fish, man. We've got the mow crew. I finally got my dang rhino hitch in a couple of weeks back, so now I can actually take my other trailer out. And then I told Liz, I said I can't wait to start crushing some things here with fall aeration season coming up in the fall, and then doing some last minute landscaping and mulch installs. Interestingly enough, we get a lot of requests for that towards the end of the year, which is nice. Yeah. And then really, I'm excited about plowing with having 2 trucks on the road, and I don't know if we're going to get a Boss or maybe an F12 or F14 from Snow Power. Little hint there, more on that later. But yeah, I'm right there with you, man. We're growing, you guys are growing, and it's growing for anybody who's got their hand to the plow, and then that's the exciting thing I always say when I get to talk with you young guys is that you guys are excited, you're optimistic, you're taking risks, and it's paying off with the zero turn versus a stand on, if you will. My suggestion is, hey, tap out the first mower with 20, 30 hours a weekly addition to the meter, where you're running that thing 40 hours a week, if you will, with the crew. And that's 20 2-acre size lots, or 80 residential small cookie cutter lawns, or whatever. It's never like, I have 80 lawns and this guy's got 200 lawns, because I know people with 200 lawns and they have like 200 postage stamp lawns, and I know guys that have 80 lawns, and you're like, well, the guy with 200's got a bigger business, and it's like, well, not really. The guy with 80 lawns has 80 1-acre size lawns or above. So it's just about revenue, daily income goals, revenue goals per day, revenue goals per week, per month. So when talking about adding a second mower, I'm always hesitant when people are like, I'm going to add another mower. And I'm like, well, how many hours a week are you logging on the other one? 16. I'm like, okay, well, I think you got probably 30, 32 hours a week, maybe 35 hours a week. You could be logging on a mower with extreme route density, if you will, before you add a second mower, and Hustler's got great product. I mean, they make some really good stuff. I definitely bleed red with Exmark and those guys. They make great product. The Vertex, a lot of people really enjoy that, but I'll tell you what, what was not the Fast Track, but the Super Z or whatever. The
Super Z, Hustler Super Z. That's like one of the top ones.
Yeah.
And like you were saying about, don't get another mower till, you have the, over 40 hours a week of mowing. And I completely agree with that. But my biggest thing is I've had a few little breakdowns, this year with nothing major with the, Hustler Fast Track.
Sure.
And when that happens, it stresses me out because, obviously it's under warranty, but then if you don't want to avoid your warranty, you got to take it to, like we have Messick's here in Pennsylvania. That's our local Hustler dealer.
Okay.
And they're 2 weeks out for repairs, or can you even get the part?
Right.
And so now, like, I have another little Hustler. It's a Hustler Raptor. It's like a 2016. It was the first. I bought that for like $1,000 back, like 3 years ago.
Okay.
And before I even, had a thought of starting business, but that's, I bought that to mow my mom's yard, and, it was always good to me, but now I got the commercial mower. It's like, that thing's junk pretty much.
Right.
Cut quality sucks and everything. But my big thing with getting another commercial mower is to have that backup if something happens to my primary mower.
Okay.
And then I don't have to stress about, using the residential mower takes twice the time and everything. So that's my look at it, but I completely agree with what you were saying, Brian.
Well, that's a good perspective, though. My attitude was always one mower, keep it moving, and buy the zero downtime thing, or have great dealer support. But man, you're so right, and that conversation has changed a lot the last 18 months with machine availability. Most dealers don't have a loaner nowadays, for crying out loud.
Yep.
And even if they have a zero downtime, there's no guarantee that they can overnight the parts for most of these mowers these days, because everybody's missing one little screw, one little bolt, one little whatever.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'll give you a good example of that. I had just a few weeks ago, and actually it was, I guess, the beginning, either the end of May, beginning of June, it happened. I was mowing, and the one joystick on the zero turn, it had on the Hustlers, they have like pretty much it's a shock that puts tension on your joystick.
Okay.
And the end was a plastic. It just snaps onto like a ball nut, and it's a plastic end on the shock. Well, that plastic end snapped, and my local dealer didn't have one. Nobody had one, and Hustler was on back order for weeks.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, well, what do I do here now? I'm like, I can't be without a mower. I got all these properties to do. And so I kept searching, and I finally found one. And, luckily we were only out for a day, but, that's my biggest worry is with, the shortages, like you're saying, all of this, whether there's actually a shortage or, what's actually happening with the economy. It's terrible right now.
Yeah. I agree, man. And that's the thing. I always tell people, do you need two mowers your first year, second year? Maybe not. But shortly thereafter, I agree. I love what you're saying. Like after we had two mowers, and even now we have two trucks, and and I'm not trying to grow a $5 million company. I mean, most of you guys listening in, you know my story. I'm not trying to be the next Troy Clogg in my area. I'm not trying to grow $1 million company. I'm not trying to grow a $500,000 company. I think with 2-3 full-time guys, a mow crew, a landscape crew, and some plenty of snow work, we can do 300, 350 if we really top some things out, which is what we're trying to do. We're skating to the puck behind the scenes. But when we added a second mower and a third mower and then a second truck more recently, it is peace of mind. It is, you have a backup, or if something does break down. And of course, before then, I networked with a bunch of friends. I've borrowed a bunch of people's equipment. A lot of people have borrowed my equipment.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you do in the beginning. If you guys are like, well, I don't know when I'm going to be able to drop another $12,000 on a mower. Look, I get it. That's a lot of money. I'm cognizant of that. But everybody has a friend that you can make, from your local dealers to the local trade shows. Make friends. Everybody's got an extra mower sitting around that's got 3,000 hours. It doesn't look pretty, but it'll run. And I mean, borrow it from your buddy for $100 a day. You're doing $400, $600, $800, $1,200 a day in revenue with it anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's no big deal to go rent it for $100, or check your local rental places and just have contingencies. That's always stuff that you can do in the off season is build a contingency list of where do I rent a car? Where do I rent a truck? I mean, where can I get a trailer? Can I rent a U-Haul? Can I rent a Home Depot truck for the day? Can I rent a mower for the day? And get their rental rates, get their pricing, and just have that stuff ready to go. There's no reason to not keep the hammer down no matter what you're doing. So yeah, that's a great thought process there, man. That's great. Business mindset with especially at a young age with your limited resources, keep this thing moving, Well, let me ask you this, man. We'll, I got about another 2 minutes here, and actually, I got to button this thing up. We got some ribs I got to go bust out of my wife just texted me. I got to get it out of the foil, and then we got another hour that we have to leave it on the foil or on the grate, and then we have to get moving to the other side of town, which is an hour away. So I'm getting the flag. Hey, shut it down. So let me do this. I'll give you the last 2 minutes here, and you can kind of take it away. Maybe any key thoughts or anything you want to leave these guys, or talk about equipment for a minute. But this is your show, man. I appreciate you taking time to be on and getting your story out there a little bit and pouring back into the community.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank Brian for, having me on, and, I always listen to your podcast and watch your YouTube videos as much as possible. Unfortunately, I can't watch my YouTube videos now with how busy we are, but, it's, it's slowing down a little bit, so I might be able to get to watch them more, but always enjoy listening to the podcast and, hearing all your sponsors from Ballard Blades. I actually just bought my first Ballard set of blades, the other week.
Oh, cool.
And Edger blades, and I love them. I think I got the Rippers or something like that, and they've been working great. So, and also I'm looking forward to hopefully maybe taking the trip out to Kentucky for the Equip Expo. I've been really doing some research on the Equip Expo, and it looks like definitely a great opportunity to get out there and meet with some of the some of the different mower dealers or, brands and everything. And, maybe meet up with you, Brian. And so, yeah, definitely looking forward to maybe making a trip out to Equip Expo this year and continuing to grow the business and looking forward to next year to definitely continuing to grow.
That's awesome, man. Well, good for you. Yeah, come on down to Louisville, Kentucky, man. I'll be there. There'll be a bunch of meetups and booth takeovers and all that kind of stuff. I'm very easy to find at the shows, and I love meeting all you guys. I love shaking hands and kissing babies. My wife always says shaking hands and kissing babies, and I'm like, yeah. But I sincerely, I love meeting you guys and putting a face to the name. And you're like, hey, I'm Todd. I'm over here from Kansas. I'm Mike over here from Florida. I'm like, dude, I follow you on Instagram for 3 years and I've never met you, right? All that kind of stuff. And you know what? If you can't make it to Quip, as you guys know, make it to LAL. I mean, you're over there in Pennsylvania. That's, between 4 to 6 hours, depending on where you're at. So that's not too far of a trek.
I'm not sure. I think it's like an 8-hour drive to Kentucky to the Equip Expo. So, it's not too bad of a drive. I'm not sure what it is out there to Michigan, but like you said, it's not bad. It's probably about an 8-hour drive.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, link up with the Steel Cuts and Mac. They're coming from Pittsburgh, and I'm sure they'll have a whole caravan and train of people coming over. So if they're, although they might be flying, they're balling, So I don't want, So.
Exactly. They might go. They probably have their own private jet and everything.
Yeah, Noah Mac and those guys, they got the PJ. Yeah, they got the PJ on lock, and they're going to be flying out from the little private airport. I mean, hey, dude, if you guys get there, holler at your boy, and I'll send the jet out for me, and I'll come do a trailer set up at your place, So we're all trying to get there, So I love it, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, no, dude, I really appreciate you taking time out of the show today, or taking time out of your schedule to be on the show today, I should say. We got just a limited window here to lock this podcast down, but we were trying to just shuttle back some times back and forth this morning, and I said, hey, I got a window. If you want to chisel it out, let's do it. And you guys are busy, we're busy, so I never take it for granted having a guest on the show because we're all busy rocking the schedule. Everybody's got time, December, January, February, March, but once the grass starts to turn green and sprout up and start growing, we're all off to the races to cut that grass and make that cash, right? So yeah, I love it, man. Do you have any where people can follow up with you? Are you on Instagram or Facebook or website if people want to learn a little bit more about you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find us on Facebook at Coyle's Lawn Maintenance LLC. We haven't been posting too much this year. It's been, kind of crazy trying to find time to post stuff, but we'll definitely be posting a lot of our landscaping projects and everything here in this week and, the next few weeks. Cool. So we definitely see what we've been doing this year. And once again, I just want to thank you, Brian, for taking time out of your busy, family day and, and your wife letting you get away from family day. So,
yeah.
But thank you again for having me on, and hopefully we can meet up at Equip Expo and maybe be on the podcast sometime, a few years down the road. So thank you.
Absolutely, bud. We'll definitely get a show update from you, year over year, and we'll hold your feet to the fire to make sure that you keep growing and stay accountable and keep putting that thing together out there, man, in beautiful Pennsylvania. So, all right, man. Well, that's what we got on today's show, guys. We really appreciate you listening in. We're gonna kick it back over to Marty, Mr. Producer, down in the ATL, and we look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
Are the increasing labor, fuel, and material expenses affecting your bottom line? In order to battle against these fluctuating market factors, it's important to understand your numbers and shift your strategy if needed as the economy changes. Having a team to handle the bookkeeping and CFO services will help you stay ahead of these changes. The team at Cycle CPA provides reports on a monthly basis to ensure you are making a profit and hitting your goals. Comparing your reports to past periods, green industry benchmarks, and comparing between service lines will help to underline areas that need to be improved on for the next period. Visit their website, cyclecpa.com, and mention Brian's podcast to receive $200 off on bookkeeping and CFO services.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.